Nobody expected Elon Musk, the man behind SpaceX rockets and the most desired electric cars on the planet, to take such a bold step off-road, literally. Instead of racing into the future solely with vehicles, he decided to park something entirely different in people's lives. A tiny house costing less than $8,000. That's right, for less than the price of a used car, it's now possible to own a modern, efficient home, and most surprisingly, one worthy of the Tesla name. And what's most curious is that this idea didn't come out of nowhere. In the midst of a housing crisis, with thousands unable to afford a home, Musk saw a chance to use cutting-edge technology to solve a problem that affects everyone, especially retirees and low-income individuals. The tiny house project emerged as a radical reinterpretation of what home really means. Instead of luxury stretched across endless square footage, the focus here is on functionality, comfort, and sustainability. It's like the future compacted into a few square meters without losing any essentials. And that's exactly where the charm lies. While the market keeps pushing massive, overpriced properties, Elon presents a minimalist, affordable alternative, tailored for people who are tired of working a lifetime and still can't afford a decent place to call their own. Some may say this idea sounds utopian, but the truth is it's already taking shape and catching the attention of people who never imagined living in a house on wheels. The concept is simple: a modern home with futuristic design, durable structure, and sustainable tech for a price that fits the budget of someone living on a pension or minimum wage. Musk isn't selling an unreachable dream. He's offering a new way of life, a way out for those trapped between abusive rent and crushing mortgages. What's even more impressive is that, despite being small, this house doesn't cut corners on innovation. It's not a makeshift cabin or a modified trailer. This is a space engineered with the same obsession for efficiency that Tesla puts into its cars. With strong materials, smart energy solutions, and a layout that makes every inch count, this tiny house truly breaks the mold. The idea that you can only live well in a big house is being quite literally dismantled. Accessibility also becomes a bridge between generations. Imagine an elderly couple who spent their lives paying rent, finally able to live with dignity, comfort, and security without falling into debt. Or a young adult moving out for the first time, seeking independence without falling into the traps of the traditional housing market. This tiny house can serve digital nomads, small families, or anyone looking for a compact and economical solution. It looks like something from the future, but it solves problems of the present. Now, there's one thing that can't be ignored: the boldness of putting the Tesla name on a project like this. It's as if Elon is telling the world that housing, too, can be disruptive, that it's possible to apply the same innovative thinking that launched a car into space to the way we live here on Earth. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. If he managed to reinvent transportation, why not try to reinvent the concept of home? While many still question whether a house this cheap can really be worth it, the numbers speak louder than any doubt. Just to put in perspective, the average home price in California is now over $800,000. That's no exaggeration. In cities like San Francisco or Los Angeles, buying property has become a distant dream even for high earners. Now imagine what that means for retirees, people living on fixed income, or workers who can barely save at the end of the month. That's where Tesla's tiny house starts to shine. For less than $8,000, you literally own a home. Not a rented room, not a shack behind someone's backyard. Your own house in your name. And more than that, without the avalanche of interest for mortgages that take decades to pay off. This is the kind of purchase you can make outright, without relying on banks or middlemen. In a market where just the down payment for a conventional mortgage often exceeds $50,000, This price tag is, without a doubt, a total game changer. And it doesn't stop there. Beyond the unbelievably low purchase price, the long-term savings are just as staggering. Just in property taxes alone, a traditional homeowner in California pays an average of $7,000 to $10,000 per year. With a tiny house, that amount drops to under $500. That's right. The difference is so absurd that, in practice, it's as if the homeowner gets a yearly raise just for choosing to live small. It's a financial relief that makes these homes incredibly appealing to anyone tired of watching their income evaporate into rent, bills, and taxes. For a retiree living on barely $1,000 a month, eliminating fixed costs like these could mean the difference between living with dignity or relying on help from children, the government, or falling into unpayable debt. While the house won't solve every problem, it does take the first and most important step. It gives people back control over their lives. It's not just a roof over your head. It's a chance to breathe again, to stop living no FIM, do MES, and start planning the future. Another important aspect is how much this house simplifies life. No debts, no surprise fees, and none of that mountain of red tape that usually comes with buying property. The process of acquiring one of these homes tends to be quicker, less stressful, and way more straightforward. And honestly, in today's world, that feels like a blessing. We're already drowning in complications. A home should be part of the solution, not another problem to deal with. The lifestyle this model promotes is also incredibly freeing. Many people grew up believing that bigger is better, but reality keeps proving otherwise. Smaller spaces mean fewer expenses, less clutter, and more mobility. A tiny house represents a way of living with only what's essential and still having all the comfort you need. It's like trading a wardrobe full of things you never use for a suitcase that holds exactly what matters most. The compact size of Tesla's tiny house doesn't limit its functionality. Quite the opposite, in fact. It enhances every detail with smart design. One of the most impressive aspects is its energy efficiency. While a conventional home can cost a fortune in electricity and maintenance over the course of a year, this little giant uses up to 75% less. That's because every part of it was designed to save energy, from lighting to the heating system. And the best part? It doesn't sacrifice comfort. Just imagine living in a place where your electricity bill practically disappears. One of the key components making this possible is the integrated solar panels. These aren't your average rooftop panels stuck on as an afterthought. They're Tesla-designed, seamlessly integrated with the house's structure. They capture sunlight with incredible efficiency and convert it into power for everything: lighting, appliances, climate control. And, of course, all of it is managed by an automated system that ensures optimal energy use without waste. In addition to solar power, the house features smart thermal insulation. This means it adapts to changes in outdoor temperature and keeps the interior comfortable, whether it's sweltering hot or freezing cold. The insulation greatly reduces the need for air conditioning or heating, typically major contributors to high energy bills. The result is a comfortable environment that takes care of your wallet while also taking care of the planet. Honestly, this combination of savings and eco-conscious living should be the new standard. Another interesting feature is the choice of construction materials. They're all low maintenance and highly durable. Forget about constant repairs, surprise leaks, or mold creeping into corners. This house is built to last with as little effort as possible. That's a blessing, especially for people who already have busy lives or simply don't want to worry about ongoing maintenance. The idea is simple: fewer repairs, more time to enjoy life. And you know that detail nobody notices until the water bill hits? That's where technology steps in again. The house's water-saving system reduces usage by up to 70%. This is thanks to sensor-based faucets, smart toilets, and gray water reuse. That's the water from your shower or sink being redirected to flush toilets or water plants. It may sound minor, but at the end of the month, the impact is real. When you add this to nearly zero energy costs, you're looking at a home that practically pays for itself. Living in a house like this isn't just about cutting expenses, it's about reducing stress. Anyone living in a Tesla tiny house doesn't have to worry about the heater blowing up the electric bill or water being wasted through outdated plumbing. Everything has already been thought out and programmed to run efficiently. And that peace of mind is hard to find in traditional homes, where even minor issues can turn into major expenses. Now imagine living in a place where you can step outside, chat with a neighbor over coffee, tend to a shared garden, or go for a walk in a local park, all while paying far less than you would in a traditional condo. That's exactly what tiny home communities are offering. And what's even more interesting is that these villages are designed especially with seniors in mind, creating welcoming, safe environments with a strong sense of quality of life. That outdated notion that aging equals loneliness is beginning to lose ground thanks to this new housing model. These communities are unlike anything you've seen. They're not makeshift camps or repurposed empty lots. They're well-structured with shared spaces, recreational areas, built-in security, and everything a traditional neighborhood offers, just on a smaller, more affordable scale. The idea is simple. Offer a collective, harmonious lifestyle where each resident has their own space, but also belongs to something greater. And for many people, that's worth more than square footage. The costs of living in these spaces are much more manageable. Renting a lot in a tiny house community can range from $300 to $600 per month. Nearly impossible to find in any conventional neighborhood, especially in California. And even with such a low cost, the services offered in these villages are surprisingly complete. From fitness centers adapted for seniors to community halls for events and weekly gatherings, everything is designed to promote physical, mental, and social well-being. An active lifestyle surrounded by people truly makes a difference in both longevity and happiness. And there's more. Many of these places offer support for daily care needs. That includes help with medication, transportation to appointments, or even basic nursing services. It's not a nursing home. It's a supportive living environment. The difference is that residents maintain their independence and autonomy, but have access to a care network when needed. This type of safety brings peace of mind not only to those living there, but also to their children or family members who can't always be nearby. Social integration is another strong point. In these communities, it's easy to make friends, enjoy evening conversations, and even organize group activities like cooking classes, yoga sessions, or outdoor movie nights. Sounds like something out of a movie? It's very real and already happening in several American cities. This kind of environment not only promotes well-being, but also combats serious issues like depression and isolation, which affect so many seniors in traditional housing settings. Another benefit worth highlighting is the sense of belonging. In regular neighborhoods, many people barely know their next-door neighbors. But in tiny house communities, residents tend to share similar values, help one another, exchange experiences, and build bonds that go far beyond proximity. It's like living in a big family where everyone has their own space, but everyone also looks out for each other. This sense of community makes residents feel safer, more appreciated, and genuinely happier. When people hear affordable housing, many immediately picture flimsy structures that can't withstand a strong gust of wind or heavy rain. But Tesla's tiny house is here to flip that perception completely. Not only is it affordable, it's also designed to face the worst-case scenarios. Fires, floods, storms. This little home may be small in size, but it's a fortress when it comes to resilience. And that makes all the difference, especially in places like California, where natural disasters are becoming more and more common. One of the house's biggest strengths is its use of materials that border on aerospace-level technology. Its structure is made of industrial-grade aluminum, the same kind used in the Cybertruck. This material is non-flammable, corrosion-resistant, and keeps internal temperatures stable even under extreme heat. While traditional homes are often built with wood, which catches fire easily, this tiny house takes the heat without flinching. That alone puts it in a whole different league of safety. And the details go even further. The house's windows are made of tempered, heat-reflective glass designed to withstand extreme temperatures and prevent sparks or embers from entering during a wildfire. In high-risk areas, this can mean the difference between total loss and a home that remains intact. This attention to fire safety extends to an automated suppression system. Thermal sensors detect rising heat and trigger sprinklers in strategic locations to control flames before they spread. But fires aren't the only threat. Flooding has become increasingly common, especially with rising sea levels and climate change. To handle this, Tesla's tiny house features an elevated modular foundation that keeps the floor above flood levels. This prevents water from seeping in through the base, even during intense rain or flash floods. It's a detail that proves how much thought went into this project, especially in areas most builders tend to overlook. Another key feature is the insulation used in the walls and floors, aerogel. For those unfamiliar, aerogel is an ultralight material used in NASA missions. And it's not just heat-resistant, it's also hydrophobic, meaning it repels water. Unlike traditional insulation, which soaks up water and rots when wet, aerogel prevents moisture buildup and mold, which are common issues after flooding. This means fewer respiratory risks and longer structural lifespan. While many still think that living in a tiny house means giving up independence, Tesla's design proves the opposite. This home is built to expand the freedom of those who live in it. Despite its compact size, the house is practically a self-sufficient ecosystem. Fully equipped with energy generation, storage, climate control, and even water collection systems, it functions almost like a miniature space station. Only it's parked in your backyard or wherever you choose. The feeling of being able to live off-grid is nothing short of transformative. It all starts with the solar panels, which don't just generate power, they do it with absurd efficiency. The energy collected during the day is stored in Tesla's famous Powerwall, the home battery that has become a symbol of energy independence. This allows the house to function normally at night, on cloudy days, or even during blackouts. In other words, even if the power grid goes down, your home stays lit, heated, and connected. And honestly, in times of energy uncertainty, that's a massive advantage. But the house's intelligence doesn't stop at energy. Its climate control system is powered by artificial intelligence. Sensors throughout the home monitor temperature, humidity, and even air quality, adjusting ventilation and cooling automatically based on real-time conditions. What's amazing is that it all happens without the resident lifting a finger. The house learns your habits and adapts to you, not the other way around. It's like living in a space that truly understands you. Beyond energy and climate, water is also managed innovatively. The home features a rainwater collection system that filters the water through UV light and stores it for domestic use. And it goes further. Water from sinks and showers is reused for flushing toilets and watering plants, thanks to the gray water recycling system. This reduces water consumption by up to 60%, all without any noticeable changes to daily life. It's real savings without sacrifice, a rare find. In terms of security, Tesla's tiny house also impresses. The front door doesn't use keys. Instead, it's equipped with facial recognition or fingerprint access, ensuring quick and secure entry. Everything is connected to a central system that can be monitored via smartphone, with cameras, alerts, and even control over internal devices remotely. It's the kind of technology that feels straight out of a sci-fi movie. But now it comes built into a house that fits comfortably within your budget. If anyone still thinks living in a tiny house is just for hippies or people trying to disappear off the grid, it might be time to take a closer look at what's happening in U.S. law. Believe it or not, living in one of these homes is becoming easier, and more importantly, completely legal. Until recently, trying to place a tiny house on urban land was a bureaucratic nightmare. But that's quickly changing. States like California, pushed by a growing housing crisis, have started to see tiny homes as a real and urgent solution. It all began with ADU laws, accessory dwelling units. These regulations allow homeowners to build one or even two smaller homes on the same lot as the main house. This opened the door for tiny homes to be installed in backyards, turning unused space into fully functional housing. And better yet, there's no need to buy new land. The rules are simplified, and the approval process is faster. This change alone has sparked a quiet revolution in how people build and live. Then came SB 9 and SB 10. SB 9 allows properties once zoned for a single house to be split into lots for multiple small homes. 2, 3, sometimes even 4 depending on the design. SB 10, on the other hand, makes it easier to build smaller housing units in urban areas, especially near public transportation hubs. Together, these laws have given the green light to a new model of urban development, more compact, affordable, and sustainable neighborhoods. But it didn't stop on paper. Cities started moving quickly. Los Angeles, for instance, drastically cut down the time it takes to approve a tiny house. Instead of waiting months or even years for permits, it's now possible to get one of these homes legally approved in just 60 to 90 days. And we're not talking about million-dollar projects. Simply following basic guidelines, many of which are already met by Tesla's tiny house design, is enough. In other words, the home is practically born ready for legal approval. This new agility caught the attention of other regions, and pilot programs are popping up everywhere. Sacramento launched an entire village of tiny homes specifically for low-income seniors. Cities like Seattle, Austin, and even smaller towns are following the same path. The logic is simple. If the government can't build massive amounts of affordable housing fast enough, why not make it easier for people to solve the problem themselves? The state provides the land, simplifies the rules, and the community forms quickly, affordably, and with dignity.